Ooh. Good morning. Man, what a messy weekend, folks. And I'm gonna shift to higher energies in a second, but just for a moment, I am so bummed. I cut my hand yesterday. In the dumbest possible way. My wife's out of town, so I decided to, have some time off, cook myself something nice to eat, play some video games. I downloaded 007 First Light, which I almost finished in the last 2 days. And then I decided to cook myself some steak. I usually don't do that because it's a lot of red meat, and I sauteed some onion, some mushrooms, and some potatoes. Threw some potatoes in the oven, prepared the steak, and when everything was ready, it was a big, 400-gram piece of steak that I intended to slice into thin slices, so I could eat the leftovers cold on sandwich today, which is how you should be doing it, right? And well, my knives aren't the sharpest, right? And if you have medium rare meats, they're a little squiggly, so you really need sharp knives if you want to cut it into proper slices. Which, well, my knife slipped, I cut my finger, I was bleeding like hell, had to put a bandage on it, felt a little queasy, to be honest. Not the greatest, most heroic moment of my life. But I'm good so far. Good morning. Hey. Nice of you to join last minute. Yeah. So, lesson to be learned. Keep your knives sharp. This is literally every single time I've had an accident in the kitchen, it was because of dull knives slipping while trying to cut meats or tomatoes. Tomatoes are assholes, Either use a serrated knife or use a really sharp knife so your blade doesn't slip and cut into something that you don't want to see cut. That's very important. Also, I'm much better today. It's not life-threatening. It was bleeding as hell yesterday, really. And I put a really thick bandage on it in order to be able to sleep. But when I rebandaged it today, it looked much better. The bleeding had stopped, but it's kind of... I remember still being at IKEA and seeing they placed the band-aids in the kitchen section by the knives. Yeah. Also, my wife is out of town. So, honestly, like bandaging a wound, like a cut wound, is so much better if it's a two-person job, right? If you have two hands you can use out of one that... using, not using one that is basically being bandaged or bleeding. So that was a bummer yesterday. That was, I don't know, man. I really just wanted to sit down, have some dinner, and then finish 007, and I ended up basically running to the pharmacy, getting some fresh supplies, feeling a little queasy, and all that. But I think we're gonna manage. Technically, this finger is not really well suited to hit any hotkeys, or well, it's like a 50% chance I'm gonna hit the wrong hotkey. But I think we can manage with 9 fingers. We're just playing MSQ, so it's gonna be fine, right? One thing I did want to mention, because I played it yesterday and Friday. I downloaded 007 First Light, which was released a couple of days ago. And I think it costs around 70 euro or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. And I almost finished it. So this tells you something about the amount of playtime you're going to get out of that game. Just as a heads up. So it's probably around 10 to 15 hours long. But it's definitely a fun game. I had a lot of fun over the last 2 days. The writing is amazing. The voice acting is amazing. It's a very linear story. It's kind of a... How did somebody describe it yesterday? The one... basically, Hitman meets... not Last of Us, but the other game from Naughty Dog. Which one was it? The one where you're climbing around and stuff. With Nathan Fillion. Not Nathan Fillion, but you know who I mean, right? You know, the adventuring game. So yeah, it's kind of in between those two days. What? Uncharted. Jesus Christ. So it's kind of Hitman meets Uncharted, right? It has some adventuring, some really nice action sequences, some stealth. Not the most meticulous stealth games of all time, but it's very well written. It's super fun. It's quippy. It has great dialogue. It has overall great animation, amazing lighting, but it's just gonna be 10 to 15 minutes to play the whole campaign. There's some replayability in it as far as tac sim, like tactical simulation where you can replay levels and training missions and stuff like that, is offered. But honestly, that's not for me. I'm just gonna finish the story. I'm gonna have a really good time, and that's it. So I'm not sure if it's worth the 70 euro. I think it's already on sale or discounted in some places where you can buy like game codes, right? Stuff like that. It's of course currently not discounted on Steam. I don't know if it's part of Game Pass, because honestly I don't do that anymore, because Microsoft, subscription-based services, yada yada yada. I just keep wasting my money there, and instead of paying, I don't know, 18 euro for a monthly subscription, I can also pay 18 euro to buy an indie game off Steam and enjoy that. So this is how I'm doing it. But definitely a fun game. Great acting. Man, I love the main character. He's got swagger, he's got humor, he's fun. They did a nice take on basically James Bond being a women's man without making him being creepy, you know? So yeah, if you want to check this out, you're gonna have 15 hours of fun, definitely. Runs pretty solidly on my machine, which is a little outdated. It's just a 3070 Ti with 36 gigabyte of RAM and 3600X, I think. But it runs smoothly on 60 FPS in medium detail. So that was fun until I cut my finger yesterday. Then I stopped playing, and I haven't finished the final mission yet. So if you can grab this, have a look at it. I really enjoyed it. It's super fun. Grab it on Game Pass. Grab it once it has a discount, and you're definitely gonna enjoy it. Apropos of enjoying stuff, I did enjoy the fact that we kicked Lord Vauthry's ass last week. But as the story goes, and as I was told, this is not the end of Shadowbringers MSQ for some reason. So apparently there's still more stuff to do for us, and we will be doing it. So let's jump into, I was gonna say tonight's episode of Critical Role, but that's not what we're doing here. Sorry guys. Just reflexes, you know. There we go. Let's jump into this week's episode of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers MSQ. Reassuring the masses. Man, give me a second. I'm not sure. Is my audio clipping? I don't think it should be clipping, but we should be fine. Give me a sec here real quick. No, great. We're audio is just where it's supposed to be. Amazing. So, oh, I am clipping. This is interesting because so am I too? Is my regular audio too loud? Or am I talking too loudly today? And that's about it, because I can see. Yeah, I reduced the gain a little bit. Now we should be fine. Interesting. I hadn't changed audio settings at all, to be honest, but I might be speaking a little louder than usually. Anyway. So, last we left off, we spoke to the manager of suites, and he seems surprised to see us up and about. And he asked us to speak with Bragi, who apparently is next to the market somewhere. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be so much fun. Man. Do you know that feeling when you make the most avoidable mistake ever, and then you spend the next hour thinking about how much easier the next couple of days would have been if you just avoided that mistake? Yeah, this is how I feel today. Bragi, what's up? Well, look who's back from the dead. It was a grim sight. Your companions looked fair ready to drop when they brought you in, so I offered a helping hand. Couldn't bear to see them struggle so. And you, my friend, I feared you had one foot in the grave. Cold and lifeless you were, like a corpse that was somehow still breathing. Then they told me some evil bastard went and snatched our poor Exarch away in the midst of chaos. Wicked White, what is this world coming to? But moaning never solved a thing, did it? Nah. It's times like these that we Crystarium folk stand tall and do what needs to be done. Oh, if it was the video that was stuttering, then it was just me switching to the audio control center for a second, and this is why probably the audio on the video stuttered. So, yeah. That was my bad. Sorry. Trade with Yulmore is back on the table. We'd best make use of those resources to fortify the city against the Eaters, or whatever misery the fates deem fit to throw at us next. Speaking of misery, Chesamir was worried sick about you. A healer wringing her hands is not a sight you ever wish to see, so let me tell you. We gotta speak with Chesamir, which is the healing person up at the rotunda to the right. Because, of course, we know a way around the Crystarium now. It's not like we're constantly getting lost here, right? Not at all. This is not what's happening, folks. You know what I just remembered? In Germany, when people spread, you know, sometimes people spread their finger off, like the pinky off when drinking, you know? And then in Germany, people say fingers off alcohol. And I'm just like, oh, fingers off the keyboard because I'm not using my left index finger. You get it? It's funny. I'm sorry. Jessamine, you were worried about me. Oh, sweetie, you're alive. This is definitely something you want a healer to say, right? In a voice of surprise, like, oh, you're alive? No one's been allowed to see you. Even spagyric surgeons were forbidden from making visits. Ryan was kind enough to tell me you was showing symptoms similar to Ida corruption, so I suppose there was little any of us could have done. In any case. As for your companions, they've been rushing hither and yon, seeking a cure to your condition. I worry to see their faces grown ever more haggard every time they pass through the Crystarium. I shall let them know you're awake, and when they come to see you, sweetie, please do convince them to rest a bit. They won't be helping anyone if they all collapse off exhaustion. And our own Morin has been little better, I'm afraid. He hasn't left the cabinet, too busy with his nose buried in one dusty tome or another. So basically everybody is... Where's Morin? It's a Morin. Oh, he's up here in the Whispering Gallery. When the moon hits the sky like a big piece of pie. The Morin. I'm so sorry, this is going to be very silly today. Maybe this is a good sign, right? So apparently everybody, and I really appreciate that, is trying to save me. That's nice, right? He's upstairs. I love this library, by the way. This library is gorgeous. So I think this would be one of my up until now, this is one of my favorite spots for taking pictures in the Crystarium, because I really like the dusty tome kind of bookish vibe. So yeah, love this spot. Confound it. This says the same thing as the last. Mayhap I should approach the problem from a different perspective. Daedalus, it is truly you and not some figment of imagination. Everybody's expecting me to be dead. This is really, really confidence inspiring. But this is wonderful. It would seem our prayers have been answered. Feeling otherwise helpless, I've been scouring our shelves for the wisdom to explain this most worrisome conundrum. Why, with all the light wardens defeated, has the light returned to obscure the sky? Well, technically, I have become a light warden, right? Even though I've not succumbed to the light, I assume me still existing and having consumed all the light. Technically, I have become a light warden, even though I haven't turned yet, right? That's the problem here, folks, no? I must have pored over 100 tomes, but no definitive conclusion seems forthcoming. So many questions I would pose to the Exarch, and thus do I feel his absence all the more keenly. Now that you're awake, however, I am hopeful the search for a stolen steward might begin in earnest. Catless, meanwhile, leads the crystalline mean in preparations for battle. Though against what foe we are yet uncertain. Why not pay her a visit? I expect Seeing you upright would be a much welcome relief. Yep. Yep. Let's check in with all the people who are worried. She's upstairs too. Is that so? I think the best way to reach her would be. Oh man, I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad at this. Did I mention my lack of orientation? Silliest thing ever. Anyway. There's a shard here. We can use this. So I think get up here to the Amaro launch, which would be on the 2nd floor. Right? And then... Now, where is she? Ah, she's down there. Love it. I'm doing great. Ooh! Catless. Daedalus, alive and well, I see. You gave us all a proper fright, you know what? The friends you've made in the facets have been talking with me, wondering what they could do to help. Anyway, I'm glad you've recovered enough to stand. You're not planning on striking out straight away, though, are you? I was hoping to have a better look at your equipment. If we'd been able to provide you with better weapons or sturdier helms, then maybe you would have won the day and the Exarch would still be there. Are you blaming my item level? Are you saying I'm underpowered? Because this is what I'm hearing here. As such, we keep busy consulting each other on new forging techniques and designs and the like. If you could stand still for a moment, I'd like to assess the gear we're trying to improve. Okay. Aye, well, that's some fine work, I must admit. It wouldn't be impossible to make something better, but we need to experiment with different patterns and materials, and I'm not sure we have that kind of time. That sounds like a challenge that he would enjoy. Who's he? Huh? Greetings, Glenard. Master of the Stairs is running his own errands now, is he? Aye, well, my servers are distraught enough as it is, and I didn't want to crack the whip too hard. But never mind that. I'm thinking our absent genius and his epiphanies are the perfect answer to his predicament of you. And by genius, you mean old Grenold. He is a man of unrivaled gifts. I won't argue with you there. But what good does his talent do us if we can't bloody find him? No one's seen hide nor hair of Grenold since he wandered off some years ago. Who's Grenold? You know what he's like once he latches onto an idea. He's probably cloistered himself in some forgotten cave, completely absorbed in his latest creation. I wouldn't even know where to start looking. That does make things difficult. Still, if that eccentric is someone you're destined to meet, I wager he'll show up soon enough. In my time at the bar, many's the tale I've heard told of strangely fated encounters, even if a few of them might be stretching the truth just a bit. We'll keep our noses on the grindstone for the time being. On the off chance you do encounter Grenold, you'd be wise to take advantage of his brilliance rather than wait on our slow and steady progress. Are these folks suggesting I get new equipment or a new weapon or something? Is that what this is about? This is all talk for when you're fully recovered, of course. I'll let you get back to convalescing, eh? Oh, before you do that, you're actually the reason I came over here in the first place. I don't suggest partaking of my stock until you've completely well. But if you're passing near the stairs, then I have a regular who's eager to see you. Okay? I'd best be beginning back. Just because the world's coming apart at the seams doesn't mean we have to follow suit now, does it? Hear, hear. We can't forget the heart upon which the city was founded, or the Exarch might not have much of a home to return to. Ooh, are we leveling up? Level 80. Stick it with a pointy end. Part 8. Enhance requires that. Okay. Confiteor deals unexpected damage to target and all enemies nearby. Give me a sec. Oh. Potency 420 for the first enemy. Has a higher potency while on requires that. Can't be used with Defiant Might though, so this just triggers on requires that. Requires that? Whatever. Can only be executed while under the effect of Confiteor Ready. Which is what? Deals unexpected damage. Increases the potency. Grants Confiteor Ready. Okay, got it. Got it. Oh. Always good to have another AoE. Daedalus, are you alright? I think a return to your sickbed might be in order. Or you might consider resting a while atop the watchtower next to the rookery. Okay, is that a place where you folks go to rest? This damnable sky doesn't make for the most soothing scenery, but the Exarch often like to stand there and feel the wind upon his face. In his garden. Ah, this is the... I know where this is, folks. I know exactly where this is. Question is, can I go there from up here? I don't think I can, right? Because this walkway doesn't lead to the tower. No, I have to get down there. Falling. Ouch. What are you drinking? I am drinking just a simple gunpowder cold brew that we made the other day. As it's getting warmer in Berlin now, and we're reaching like summer temperatures around 26 to 30 degrees, what we usually do is cold brewing some coffee and tea. Usually a variety of stuff with or without caffeine. And putting in the fridge. So we currently have a batch of cold brew coffee, a cold batch of cold brew Nana mint tea, a rooibos, and green gunpowder. And I took a glass of the green gunpowder because I forgot to put any mate in the fridge, so it's still in the freezer. It's quite nice because it's cold, it's refreshing, it's not sweetened, has a little bit of that, that green tea umami, and it's quite mild. I like it a lot. Since I don't want to say I try not to consume a lot of caffeine, because I still consume a lot of caffeine. But mostly my coffee is caffeine free at this point. I mostly drink green tea and mate, because I prefer the caffeine effect of green tea and mate, to be honest, to the one of coffee. Coffee gives me the jitters at this point. And it's quite nice. Yeah. Also, I have a new club, and it's not a club mate. I have a new type of mate that I discovered, which is Zoli mate. You can order it in Berlin from a delivery guy, and I quite like that a lot. It's better than club mate. It is not my preferred one. My preferred one is Flora mate, which is super hard to get these days for some reason. But it's nice. I really like it. And apparently also they support all kind of like solidarity projects in Berlin with their income. So that's always nice, I think. But time to sit down and enjoy the scenery.
The people of this city have spirit, I'll give them that. They've not lost the will to fight. I can imagine how torn you must feel, looking at that sky. Knowing what it means to everyone. And that you're responsible.
The secrecy is worse. I'd rather people knew. I still can't believe it's coming from me. It's all such a mess.
If you're thinking of coming clean, don't. It might make you feel better, but it would make things 100 times worse for them. They're better off not knowing.
That's not wrong.
You're in a corner, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious way out.
What's the matter?
But that doesn't mean it's over. However hopeless it seems, you haven't lost yet. I remember looking up at the sky like this before. Being caught up in a strange kind of calm. It was after we realized we were responsible for the flood. When we resolved to journey to the source by taking our own lives. One last sacrifice. One last fight. One last failure. And then the Oracle appeared and, well, you know the rest. There were times in the years and decades that followed when I wondered if we might not have been better off just letting the rejoining happen. That we'd made one last mistake. But seeing that giant Talos stir to life cured me of any doubts I still had. Always we took the burden of fighting upon ourselves. That's what heroes do, isn't it? So we never had the chance to see anything like that. Our people coming together as one. To think that their hope still burned so bright. That they were still so eager to live, they would lift up their fellows, one on top of the other, till they reached the sky. No. We made the right decision. And I can finally feel proud of the part we played in helping this world survive.
Bump him.
Well, come on then.
Come on, bump his fist. I was supposed to say fist my bum, but I messed it up. I'm sorry.
As I thought. What happened between us was no coincidence. My story may be finished, but the fates have gifted me a minor role in yours. I suspected as much the moment I realized you could hear me. But it's hard not to doubt yourself when you're the man who caused the flood. I was afraid to do anything more than watch for fear of making things even worse. But no longer. After all, the path I once walked is now yours to finish. For what it's worth, I cast my lot with yours. If you need a push, I'll be right there behind you. If you lose control, I'll do my best to stop you. So, let us be about it, hero.
I really, really enjoy the relationship between Ardbird and the Warrior of Light in this arc.
Oh,
I really do.
Worried you were up here all alone, brooding and fretting and wallowing in your woes. But look at you, grinning at nothing like a pollen-drunk pixie.
Hey! Crazy girlfriend.
Look at what you've done to your ether.
Well,
It's a
technically-
mess. And you have cracks running all through that pretty soul of yours.
Non-binary friend, I guess.
My poor little sapling. Whatever am I to do with you?
I don't know. Can you like remove the curse? Can you?
Shall I yield up my throne? You could claim it, cut ties with the mortal world, hide away in the castle.
Mm-hmm. Become pixie myself?
It won't fix the problem, but would it really matter? If any pesky heroes come calling with steel and magic, all of Il Meg will rise up in your defense.
That'd be kind of cool.
My crown and scepter are yours, if you want them. What? Don't give me that look. Of course I knew before I asked that you'd never ever heed such a wicked suggestion.
Then why would you ask?
And besides, what would become of my precious and ephemeral flower?
This is how I see myself, as a precious and ephemeral flower.
My dear beloved sapling, you are lost, confused, and have precious little time to gather your wits. Your kind is always so preoccupied with what lies ahead, and so we muddle your vision with fog and glamour. But such trickery is easy to see through. Stand very, very still. Think not of where you need to go, but where you are right now at this moment, at this time, in this place. our cairn of crystal. From shadowed hood he watched you go, his ruby eyes with warmth aglow. See yourself as he saw you, and that shall be the clearest clue.
Do you have to rhyme?
You stand in his garden, dear sapling. Ask his flowers what they know, and you will surely find an answer. But what will you do with it, I wonder? I'll be watching and waiting. Waiting and watching.
Never creepy at all. Never creepy at all. Gather information on the Crystal Exarch. Well, let's see what we can find out then. Oops. Oh, I did not expect to see you on your feet so soon. Surely you have not come in search of an Amaro. What do I know of the Crystal Exarch? I am happy to share, but I fear there will be no surprising revelations. As any in this city could tell you, he is a man of wisdom and compassion, and many untold secrets. But none can doubt his generosity. When the Crystarium was being constructed, he even allowed folk to plunder the tower for resources. He has imposed no restrictions upon us, but one. No one except the Exarch is permitted to dwell within the spire. Many seasons past, a comrade of mine was bold enough to ask the reason why. The Exarch merely smiled and said, because one day the Crystal Tower may vanish as suddenly as it has arrived. How would you make that happen? And where would it go? Daedalus, it's good to see you awake and alert, my friend. What's this about? Not writing the Exarch's memoirs, are you? I'm not sure how much I can tell you, considering we avoid asking too many questions. Unspoken rule and all that. If anyone has fresh insight to share, it might be Captain Lena, I'd say. She lost her parents to an Eater attack not long after she was born, and the Exarch saw to her upbringing. Outward appearances aside, those two are like grandfather and granddaughter. I imagine the news of his predicament made her doubly hard. Not that a proud captain would ever let it show. If you do decide to talk to Lena, she'll be at her usual post at the Exensor Gate. Is that right? Just Morin? Yes. Oh, was there something else you needed? If you've come for the results of my research into this persistent light, I'm afraid there's little to tell as of yet. Records pertaining the Exarch? Well, I need no documentation to relay what little I know of his history, if that's what interests me. Less than a decade has passed since the coming of the Flood, when the Crystal Tower first flashed into existence. Its summoner, the Exarch himself, became known to the refugees in Lakeland soon thereafter. He welcomed all who sought out the spire, but be they locals who had lost their homes, or Verbites fleeing their ruined kingdoms, and together did they found the city which would become the Crystarium. Some thought to call him king, for he refused to share his name, but the summoner did not deem himself worthy of royal address. Thus did the people consider his scintillating skin so like to the tower he had summoned, and bestowed upon him the title of Crystal Exarch. As for his true name, well, it would seem that is a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Speak with Lena at the Exensor Gate. Where is that? Oh, this is outside the Crystarium at Fort Job. If nobody objects to me traveling, I guess I can take a quick trip, right? Everybody's like, oh, you should lie down, get some rest. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to travel around and just talk to some people. Captain Lena. Nicholas, I was not told you had awoken. A welcome surprise. Now, if only the Exarch was returned to us. He was taken by this rival of yours, was he not? Your companions mentioned they had an idea where to find him. Well, technically he told us to meet him in the swamp, right? And so I bristled when they asked for patience. I did not understand their hesitation until I saw that you had fallen. Only then did I realize that I had no business rushing ahead. Even so, the delay has been no less agonizing. In the moments before he left to join you in Calusia, the Exarch entrusted me with a key. It opens a door in the ocular to a chamber known as the umbilicus. This room is the heart of the tower, into which only the Exarch himself is permitted to enter. Well, he bid me allow none into the tower once he had departed. Only in the event that an army of eaters descended upon the city, I was to access the umbilicus and awaken the defensive barrier. Never before had he left me with such instructions, but the battle with Vauthry loomed near, and at the time I accepted the key without much thought. Since then, that moment is all that occupies my mind. When I recall the look upon his face, he knew that some terrible fate awaited him. Tell me, I need to know what he feared, what battle you and your companions are truly fighting. Forgive me. I trust in the Exarch, and I should not be voicing these doubts when he is not here to respond to them personally. But you have come to me with a question of your own, have you not? Ah, I see. I'm not the only one who burns for answers. The time has come to open the tower's heart. Though we do not face an invasion of eaters, I suspect the city will be in far more danger if you do not gain the knowledge you seek. Lena urges you to follow her. Come, meet me in the ocular and I will unlock the door within. No, this is just for job. You want to go back to the Mysterium. Where is the ocular? Oh, the ocular is here, right? Next to the Dossel Gate. Oh! Master Daedalus, the captain said to expect you.
I have unlocked the door to the umbilicus. You are free to enter. Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more. Until then, I will remain without.
The Echo is such a great plot device, folks.
A moment to collect my thoughts, I prithee. Thy true name is Grahatia, then? By thy claims, thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the 8th umbral calamity hath visited devastation upon our star. Thou hast, by subtle means, reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity. Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend the enormity of this tale. Wouldst thou favor me with a gradual unfolding of its chapters?
Certainly. But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity. Sid Garland being perhaps the greatest.
We know that name.
In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds. Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes, and thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice. But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope, we are finished. Mankind is finished." Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved. We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass. The fighting went on unabated, but some few took up Cid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process, and, in doing so, roused its caretaker, me. By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining, and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th Umbral Calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Cid and his compeers.
And by means of such technologies didst thou effect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the Source.
Some while before, as it turned out. 'Tis all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century.
That sucks.
But this only worked in our favor. The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only man who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
Could have told us all of that
Scarce,
instead of
credible
Orianger.
endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous. Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen this.
I am aware of the consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Cid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict.
We all remember that, right? From the Crystal Tower raids.
And with no promise of reward. 'Tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was him. The warrior of light has been our unbroken thread. Where others would stumble and fall, he would rise above. Where others would break and run, he would carry on. The warrior of light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow. In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were his deeds joyously retold.
Stormbringer and Heaven's Ward.
For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights. And so it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the Warrior of Light himself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga. He was the lodestar that brought them all together, to send their final message back through time and space to him. The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again and live. I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
Wherefore sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice? 'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood and of your part in arranging Minfilia's journey to the First. Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward, even if that choice came with a heavy price.
What price?
And for whom?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Light Wardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die. Knowing what I know of your companions, not to mention your champion, they will try to stop me. But in saving one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the Calamity and make of it a portent, a prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the Rift.
Is this truly thy wish?
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would. And I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course.
Oh man. Oh buddy.
I will see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
Yeah, but we will find a happy end where you survive. Bitch. I will not have you die. Absolutely not.
Careful now. If you lose control again, the Light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case. What do you mean to do?
I mean to hunt down Emmet-Selch. I mean to rescue the Exarch. I mean to have a few words with both Emmet and the Exarch. Always strike the right balance.
Then we should be on our way. Diassian mentioned the Tempest, did he not? That's the stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere. Hidden beneath the waves.
Beneath the waves? What? This must be underwater exploration. I was wondering whether there was any underwater fun happening there, but I think I tried at some point and it didn't work. I'm not sure. Hey, Lena, did you find the answers you sought? If there is nothing more you need, I will go and lock the door. I need some directions. Take care, enjoy your lunch. You wish to know the way to the Tempest? You mean the sea itself and not the island of Colusia? You make a request to the Tamers, they will provide you with an Amaro, but... Do you mean to leave this right moment alone? I am not sure. I will not seek to stop you. Go with the blessings of the Shadow and I shall await your safe return. Let's go. Let's talk to the Amaro Keeper. And let's get this cracking. Hello, aspiring Amaro tamer. I require an Amaro. The open water, the depth of the Tempest. Our Amaro can swim, yes, but to reach the ocean floor. Again. Hold yourself together.
We have found thee. Word reached us of thy recovery, and thus did we gather with all haste. Ah. By thy looks, I gather thou hast gleaned that which I came to tell thee.
I have gleaned, in fact, Urianger.
Urianger has shared everything with us. The Exarch's true identity and purpose.
I offer no excuses.
You never do.
When I agreed to aid the Exarch with his plans, 'twas in full acceptance of the condemnation I would face when my duplicity was laid bare. Yet it is not rancor, but resolve that I sense in thee. Thou art fully intent upon walking thy path to its end, art thou not? If thou canst forgive my deception, or, failing that, set aside thy displeasure for a time, I do beg leave to follow thee. What strength and wisdom I possess are thine to command.
No more lies. Can we do that, Urianger? No more secrecy, no more deception, no more lies?
When I say that I took no pleasure in deceiving thee. Indeed, I curse the circumstances which compelled me to do so. But no further secrets lie between us, I swear it.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea. Leaving the Crystarium, I mean, with or without Urianger. What I did for you won't last forever. There's no telling when the light will break free again. Please, you must stay here, at least for a little while longer. We will find a way to cure this, I promise you.
How can you make promises? We don't even know where to start.
I love angry Alize.
Alize, please. You know Reen was only trying to help.
Of course I know! I know only too well! But making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. It's a lie. Plain and simple. We've all searched high and low for an answer, and every one of us came back empty-handed. I am not about to stand in his way now. Not after failing him in his hour of need. No! The least we can do is...
Okay. Okay. Oh, God.
We will go with you as well.
I really, really love
There is
that
naught
girl.
to be gained by standing still.
Indeed, we have exhausted every other avenue. Lead, and we shall follow. If there is any hope to be found, then we will surely find it at your side.
Are we all in agreement then?
Is there aught we can do to help?
What? Who are you? Oh. Oh no.
Though we may not know the whole story, we do know you're in for a fight. And while the Exarch's away, it falls to the rest of us to see the Warrior of Darkness is given a proper send-off.
You told them!
What do you mean?
No. Well, not in so many words.
Aye, we didn't need it spelled out for us. When the night sky appeared over whichever place you went to, it was harder not to put two and two together.
From the moment I heard that you and the Exarch shared the homeland, I had my suspicions. Long had he been waiting for a certain someone to arrive, and I knew at once that it must be you.
Exactly. When he went up to meet you, 'twas clear it was no ordinary visitor. That spring in his step spoke volumes. I could feel his excitement.
Eat him! That's right!
Aww. This is really heartfelt.
We do not fully understand where you or the Exarch hail from, or why you've all done so much to protect us. But we are deeply grateful nonetheless. So, if there is anything at all we might do to aid your journey, you need only name it. What would you have of us?
You might have invited them to join us, where there are not so many. But come, they are waiting. What is your will, O Warrior of Darkness?
Leave it to us. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Defend the Crystarium until we return. I love these last two story beats around community and folks coming together and solidarity. I think this does a lot for ensuring that, you know, this whole hero story kind of doesn't become one of, it's just a singular person pulling off these amazing feats, right? It takes a village and sometimes also a Crystarium in order to change the world, right? Thou didst plan to commandeer an Amaro for thy journey to the open sea. I fear the following dive down onto Emmett Selch's underwater abode would drain even thy legendary stamina. Thus, during thy convalescence, we considered the most efficacious method for reaching the depths of the Tempest. And I believe we have arrived at an elegant solution. Yet, ere we discuss this step, I suggest thou dost conclude thou such pressing business as remains to thee in the Crystarium. Once the sea closeth above our heads, we are unlikely to surface again until our grand deed is done. to storm-tossed seas and some oysters. All right. Then affairs are in order. Then I shall unfold thee my proposal. Give me a second, folks. I need 2 minutes to grab myself a fresh drink. And then we're going to dive down into the Tempest and figure out what Emmett Selch has in store for us. 2 minutes. Right, that wasn't even 2 minutes. Let's rehydrate. And dive down. Our destination is the ocean floor, yet our goal is not simply to arrive there. Nay, we must needs have the means to breathe and fight freely. Thus, I would petition the aid of one of the Fae, a being with whom I have yet to meet face to face. Rather than waste words on explanation, I bid thee follow me on to the hamlet of Sullen, which lieth to the south and west. All will become abundantly clear, I promise thee. Am I not already able to breathe underwater? I'm confused. Brickweed, hammering. Okay, so we gotta really travel to the farthest place possible. Not sure whether we're going to be able to finish 5.0 today. Honestly lost track a little bit about how many quests are left in the MSQ 5.0 storyline, but if I have the feeling that we can, then I will try and do that. Thank you. I hope you had a good lunch break. So who are we actually talking to here? Oh, just Ranger. Okay. There, to the west. Canst thou discern the hump of an isle rising above the water? That foliage-covered mass hideth the key to our safe descent. Swim close and plunge thee beneath the surface. Thou shalt soon divine the reason for my insistence. Though it be much to my shame, I can but flail and flounder where thou mayest glide as a fish. I shall board a boat onto the island and spare one and all the spectacle of my inept strokes. You're not a great swimmer, Urianger. What is gimbap? Korean dish made from bap, vegetables, and optionally cooked seafood or meat rolled in gim, dried sheets of seaweed, and served in bite-sized slices. Reference works described gimbap as developing from Japanese norimaki. It looks quite similar to nori, but much bigger. I've never had a gimbap. Oh. Introduced to Korea during the period of Japanese colonial rule. Okay. Might have to ask some of my Korean friends about this. Interesting. I know for a fact that the Koreans are not too happy about Japanese colonial rule. Some of them are quite harsh when it comes to Japanese influence on Korean culture. But gimbap sounds nice. I'll check that out. I've been looking for some more summer compatible cold foods like cold noodles and stuff like that. I'll give it a look. Wait, I'm confused. There's a suspect rock formation. Though it appears solid enough, the rock yields slightly under your touch. Was the surface gently shifting, or was that just your imagination? Curved slabs of rocks seen squeezed together here, giving the impression of giant stone islets. Okay. Urianger, I figured it out. Here, let me tell you. Oh. Oof. Oof. Where is everybody? Oof. There we go. Well, what hast thou discerned? I've discerned that it's an or it reminds me of a certain primal. It's just like the big one. Yes, yes. Most perceptive. According to the lore of the Pixies, we are even now perched upon the back of an ancient Fey entity. His name is Bismarck. Aye, the self-same title by which we know the great feathered whale revered by the Vanu Vanu of the source. I would enlist its aid to bear us onto the deep, and thence banish the water with an airy sphere, alike in form to the domes which do shelter the hamlets neath the ruby sea. Within its compass we may move unencumbered, and defend ourselves when the hour of combat cometh, as it most surely shall. Now I must needs ask for silence, whilst I make my supplication. This island is gorgeous, by the way.
Wir Sach, Bilan Bismail.
Let's all hope this well isn't gonna explode.
Lor Wislan. Ada si alina.
Oh, buddy, we can help you with that.
Oh dear. I don't need to speak Fae to know that didn't go well.
I know what to do. Aww, our favorite little stalker fairy.
Oh, my snake yak! You've learned to call me at last! And where do you go? On a trip? A journey? I knew you wouldn't give up without a fight. Oh, my precious mortal, I shall help you in any way I can. Yes, Bismail when picked. Van Dromi Drom Jacob. Van Read Rithje.
That makes it much easier. My beautiful king. It be thy wish, then so shall it be done.
Be sure to scrub this one's teeth for him upon your return. It's only good manners.
It will be done, Your Majesty. Our deepest thanks for your timely intervention.
An agreement is reached and your departure is at hand. You wingless ones best hold on tight.
Always good to be a Nepo, baby.
May the blessings of the Fae keep you safe in Ba.
Aww.
And just like that, it's all gone back to the way it was.
Except for the flying whale.
100 years of honey and rainbows. Seeing them Yulmore types wake up and smell the ashes was miracle enough for me.
Ah, the magic in the air when that ladder started moving. And when that great hulking Talos rose up. Gods. I could live 1,000 years and never behold anything so amazing.
Wait for it, buddy.
What the? Do you see that?
Ha!
What a monster! Where did it even come from?
Buddy, you should leave that pier, man.
Not stopping.
You should leave that pier.
Run! Run!
I feel like they're even hitting the comedic notes much better in Shadowbringers. Oh man.
Wow.
The breath of Bismarck. See how it swells to form a dome beneath the waves? The waters recede. The tempest's floor is laid bare.
Isn't that unhealthy for the underwater
Defiance
life?
of the blinding sky, this place holds fast to its gloom. The last refuge of he who denies the light with every fiber of his being.
We need to talk, buddy.
You stand at the precipice, hero. Journey unto the heart of darkness. Finish it.
Oh, this is... Oh! Ooh-ha! There's even... This is a complete new area with another aetheryte and stuff like that. You sneaky lot. Huh. You sneaky lot. Full glad I am that Bismarck was true to his word. We are arrived in the Tempest, safe and dry. It is here that we shall find the lair of Selch, and I believe the imprisoned Exarch as well. For an Ascian alone, it is of course a trifling matter to flee onto. Yet, I suspect such travel is nigh impossible with a mortal in one's custody. Nay, he would not soon risk his prize when the Exarch's very body serveth as the key to the Crystal Tower and its powers of temporal transportation. Thus, I am all but certain that this underwater realm harboureth a friend and enemy both. We have but to find it. Alright. In the event that you leave the area, speak with Inner Will at the Vemon Yards in Calusia to return to the temple. Well, how about we don't leave the area? Now, as for where we should be looking, I rather doubt Selch will be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards the deeper trenches and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Let's be off then, but watch your footing. The ground is still wet and like to be slippery. Question. Ah, love it. So this is a whole new area. 32 yams to the southeast. Okay. I am a little flabbergasted, to be honest. Southwest. There's a little creepy anglerfish. Oh. South. Okay. Well, this looks very much like a stronghold, right? Oh, buddy. You're right. He's like, I can't breathe. What is this? I'm so sorry, folks. I really, really hope I didn't completely fuck up your ecosystem. Which I probably did. You know, means justifying the ends and all that, you know? Hey, hello, we come in peace. The finless ones! Okay. Who are you calling finless? Why have you come? Was it you who took away our water? Ah, so this is where the Ondo make their home. I had wondered. Pray forgive us any inconvenience we have caused. We were not aware your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that we might conduct a most urgent search, and thus beg you for your understanding. That is very privileged, Alphino. Also, I'm very happy that apparently all these folks can still breathe on the open air and we just didn't flat out kill them, right? That would have been a mess. Chieftain, what are we to do? Just bite their faces off. Are you emissaries of the Ancient Ones? Just say yes. Just say yes. The mysteries have stirred. We have seen the illuminated land shining through the gloom of the abyss. If you are the emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave. I am not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate? Toshaf. It would seem not. I suggest we withdraw for the moment. Can't we just tell them that we're the chosen ones? So, what's the plan? Given your condition, I'm reluctant to suggest lingering here. That said, our presently meandering surge would proceed far more swiftly if we could call upon the Ondo's local knowledge. Yes, I'd like to know more about this illuminated land the chieftain spoke of. Could it be Emetsel's stronghold, do you suppose? Perhaps he lit the lanterns upon his return? We could not dismiss the possibility, but if these Ondo refuse to speak to us, well, they're actually speaking to us, Daedalus, do you remember the first scheme for entering Yulmore? how I had planned to ingratiate myself by offering lucrative trading opportunities with the Ondo. Yes. The individual I dealt with was reticent in manner and curious in custom, but we were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with the right approach, we can build a similar relationship here. What kind of approach did you have in mind? That chieftain fellow didn't leave us many options. If we are to tread the swiftest course, then we must needs locate this beginning. It is plain our all too dramatic arrival has thrown this settlement into confusion. Well, you created a huge bubble that basically dispersed all the water, man. What do you think? Anyway. I smell chores, but very well, if it can be done quickly. What do you think? I have nothing better to offer, but I do worry that what will happen if the Ondo's tale ends up leading us to a dead end. I cannot say for certain, but I sense this tribe has a deeper connection to the Asians than first meets the eye. It warrants further investigation. Thus, I cast my vote in favor of aiding the settlement for the time being. We will make allies of the Ondo. Then it is settled. Ishtola, pray proceed with your investigations. The rest of us will see about fostering some goodwill. Fetch quests! Let's go! You won't believe who I just bumped into. This is Oshthorn, the very fellow I did business with prior to our ill-fated stay in Yulmore. I waited and you did not come. Then the Mistel came, but his visits did not continue. I am truly sorry. Things did not proceed as planned. Is there aught we can do for you by way of an apology? Oh, perhaps. Where the Dry Return, a cavern to the north, is home to giant crabs. We do not fear the crab, we are swift as swimmers. But now there is no water. We run and they scuttle close behind, snipping and snapping with their claws. There are too many of them. Too many. Oh, I believe I can be of assistance there. And what of you, Daedalus? If you've not found a task, you are welcome to join me. Indeed, I should appreciate the company. Where the Dry Return has a rather ominous ring to it. Well then, let's go where the Dry Return. Oh, it's great. It's up north. Love it. 238 yards to the west. Can we... Is there a shortcut? No, there's not. I hate this. Yeah, okay, no. We have to take... We have to take the long way around, apparently, as long as we can't fly. There's no another... No. Where are we quest-wise? Okay, level 79. I mean, we've reached level 80, so we're going to be able to complete this with the Paladin, I assume. Is it in this cave? Is it in this cave? Please tell me it's in this cave. Oh no, it's to the west. I was riding east because I'm an idiot. Can you please bear in mind that I'm an idiot and I have no sense of orientation? Thank you. To me, east and west are very, very arbitrary concepts that I have trouble wrapping my head around. I'm so sorry, folks. Do I have to... Is there a hole? Should I? No. There's the cave. That's good. Defeat blue swimmers. Shouldn't be too big of a problem, should it? You know what we need to do here? We kinda... This kinda sucks, honestly. I need an additional hotkey for the config button. I need an additional button in order to config my enemies. I have never configured blue swimmers before, to be honest. There's also a little sightseeing spot over here. Huh. I'm sorry. That was quite simple. Oh. Is there anything else we can config with for you, my friend? You could crack their shells. You must be stronger than you look. I see you've reached your quota first again. I shall never be your equal in such tasks. Still, I would say we have reduced the local crab population to a far less threatening number. My thanks to both of you. You must have a reward. Now, this was to be a part of my apology to you, remember? Besides which, the lack of water is our doing, for which we must also make amends. Might I convince you to tell us something about your village instead? I would very much like to learn more of you and your people. Very well. Before the Flood King, it is said that our ancestral home was found in the seas to the south. It was utterly destroyed by the light. Only those who were out hunting survived. They swam aimless and lost until they spied buildings here on the ocean floor. Strange buildings they were, and long had they stood under the water, yet somehow they have been spared the scars of time and current. These structures provided shelter to my people, protection from the tempest's turbulent waters and the predators which hunted within them. Their very existence seems a miracle. The first settlers pondered their good fortune. It was clear that the race who had built such wonders had guided their course. And from this did they discern the truth. That the ancients had chosen us to serve as caretakers of their eternal sanctuary until such time as they returned. Thus, if it is judged that your coming and this great vanishing of water was by the ancients' design, you will find warm welcome here. A truly astonishing history, yet I cannot help but wonder how will the significance or otherwise of our arrival will be decided. The ancients have blessed us with protection and prosperity. If your presence serves to bring us the same, there will be no doubt in the matter. So if you complete sufficient amount of fetch quests, then you'll be our allies. And it would seem our early decision was the correct one. We thank you for the lesson, and we'll continue to do all we can to assist your people. Should you desire our help with any other trouble, pray do not hesitate to ask. We should return to the task at hand. Only do try not to overexert yourself, my friend. The risk far outweighs the gain. What have we got here? Blue ether current quests, I assume. Narosh's Cole is eyeing you with naked interest. Hail, finless one, and welcome to the Cups. Long have I wanted to converse with one of your kind. How may I address you? That quest music was the La Nocia zone music, probably because the Ondo are the first mirror of the Sahagin. I did not... Man, I haven't been in La Nocia for so long, I would never... Did you research that, or do you just know these facts? I have to ask, because this really makes me nervous, the fact that you know all this. Before we speak at length, there is something I would like to show you. Let us leave beyond the cups. Let us leave behind the cups and head due west. Yeah. Should I talk to Ishtola as well? I just recognize the music. Okay. I have problems recognizing names and faces, so I'm not going to try recognizing music, but I am deeply appreciative of the fact that you can. That's amazing. Oh, Have you learned aught of note? Fascinating. And precisely the sort of information I was hoping to hear. In fact, if you have a moment, I'd like to borrow your eyes to confirm a theory I've been working on. Come. Look at that. Look at that. You pointing me in the same direction. Where are you going? Go here? Oh, this is downstairs. We don't want to go downstairs. Or, oh no, I think this body actually is downstairs, right? Yeah. Shoot. Shoot. But apropos of music, I really like that. Now it's stopped. I really like this classical guitar piece playing in the background. That's really nice. Whoa! Did it just... Wow. I mean, I imagined it doing that, but still. Oh shit, that was gonna hurt me. I can't do that too often. Okay, but where are you now? I don't understand. I am a little confused, but also a little... Where am I? I don't think that this buddy is down here. Huh. There's another... Give me a second here. Oh, by the way, by stroke of sheer luck, we managed to do the Foxy Lady fate the other day. We were just hanging around trying to take a new picture for our guild for RFC, and somebody suggested we try to do the Foxy Lady fate, and we actually managed. We were super... I recommend not going further down here due to spoilers. Okay, great. And I'm just going to go back up. And in any case, we managed to do it, which was super fun. It was a little nerve-wracking, to be honest. But apparently we were lucky enough for the fate to spawn at the first try. And then we got enough people together to actually do it. And I now have a little fox companion. I also have a little set of foxy ears now, which looks a little silly on a cat boy. Oh, is he just underwater? Where the hell is he? No, oh man, he's just very, very simply just here. Anyway. These are relics of your kind, yes? The leavings of a ship that sailed the seas above long, long ago. They lie as they fell, untouched by any Ondo, for most have little interest in the affairs of the Finlist. I, however, do, ever since I was saved by one of yours after being washed ashore weary and near death. Such kindness is rare and a wonderful thing, and I would know more of the people who showed it to me. And so I ask you, teach me your ways. These objects, for example, what purpose do they serve? This is rubbish, right? Narosh Call gestures to the nearby debris, entreating you to inspect them closely and offer a detailed explanation. Okay, buddy. Among the debris, you spy what appears to be the remnants of several shattered bottles of wine. Such fragile containers they were. I suspect they once contained something of great value. Can you tell me their purpose? They were used to store intoxicating spirits. Fragrant liquids which cloud the mind. I have heard of these before. The finless ones do so delight in dulling their wits. Honestly, they do. It sounds strange, but honestly, they do. Among the debris, you spy what appears to be a rotten ship's wheel. That was carved from the wood from one of the many trees, yes? What purpose does this peculiar contraption serve? It's used to steer a ship. As Sean Connery would say, it's used to steer a ship. Ah, the vessels your kind uses to traverse our waters. Then without a wheel, it is at the mercy of the wind and the currents, I see. Thank you. In our short time together, you have already taught me so much. A pity that none of these pearls of wisdom will serve my needs. But what is it you need, buddy? What are you thinking wandering off on your own with this finless one? This is no time for you to fiddle with their leavings. The Clutch Mother is in terrible distress. No, you don't understand. I brought him here to... Pray forgive this child his impudence. I am Xerosh's own, and on behalf of the Clutch Mother, I come to entreat your assistance. It seems you do not realize that in driving back the waters of the Tempest, you have placed our beloved Clutch Mother, leader of the Ondo, in mortal peril. She's pregnant. Here in the depths, she will give birth to many, many eggs. We male Ondo will then take them into our care and raise them on our own. But absent the flowing waters, we know not if she will be able to deliver them safely. If not, the future of our people will be in jeopardy. The flood of light claimed many Ondo lives. Though we have rebuilt our numbers somewhat in the decades since, it would be devastating to lose an entire generation. Or worse, the Clutch Mother herself. She wishes to speak to you directly, that we might come together find a solution to this dilemma. Will you return with me to the Cups? Narosh, come. I will not let you trouble our guest or the Clutch Mother further. It's all right, buddy. Everything I have done, I've done for her. Right, let's check in on Ishtola before returning to the Cups. Now, there are 2 tasks I would have you perform. The first requires you to inspect the buildings which surround the Ondo settlement and note their most distinctive characteristics. For the second, I wish you to use this knife to take scrapings from one of the remnant walls. Pray be as thorough as you can. I shall be waiting here for the results. That. Inspect the structures of the Ondo cups for distinctive features. Okay. There's a distinctive window. Well, by the way, this is the Mata I was talking about. I probably don't think you can get this somewhere outside of Germany. I'm not even sure you can get this outside of Berlin, to be honest. But I like it a lot. The tall, slender towers feature many elaborate windows, the likes of which you have seen nowhere else. Oh. Let's do some scraping. You set the point of the knife against the wall, but even after applying considerable pressure, you cannot remove so much as a flake of stone. Huh. Mysterious. Curiouser and curiouser. Is it safe to assume that these are Asian ruins? Could that be? Yes, I would agree that the windows are most distinctive. It would seem the structures be the same to both your side and mine. And you say you could not so much as scratch the wall, even with all your might behind the blade. Nevertheless, everywhere I turn in this place, my gaze is drawn by peculiar materials, for which I do not have a name. Buildings I had you investigate are prime examples. They appear to be constructed of ordinary stone, but I assure you it is nothing of the sort. If pressed, I would describe the substance as a composite of several mineral properties blended to create a material of unparalleled durability. Even the Ronkan Empire, one of the greatest powers in Northrend, produced nothing which compares to this level of perfection. But if not the Ronkans, then who? Who were these ancients the Ondo claim as the architects of their sanctuary? I suspect our answer lies with the reason Image Selch withdrew here to the Tempest. He may simply have wished to retreat somewhere mere mortals would struggle to reach, but there are many such remote locations. Why here specifically? But Selch is devoted to his role, and thus we might assume his choice of strongholds somehow serves the Asian agenda. Or mayhap is a place more dear to him than any other. Are you saying this was built by Asians? Are you saying a shrimp fried this rice? That is my theory, that these structures are remnants of a time before history, of a star that was yet whole and unbroken. Such traces in the source would have been obliterated by the succession of umbral calamities. But here in the first, they might have remained untouched for millennia. a copy of the mural in the Katana Revel. Almut presented it to me during my visit to Fano after a victory in Coluzia. Here, in the first scene, by Emmett Selch's own words, it depicts a city of eons past and the disaster which befell it. Oh, those were the murals that we... Oh, yeah. I remember this. The design is much simplified, of course, but do you see the similarities between its towers and those you have just inspected? We are close to the truth, I feel. Let us search the surrounds for another tower, one which matches the picture near enough to remove all doubt. From what I have seen, not more than sand and more sand lies to the east, and the south held no such structures. I suggest we try our luck further to the northwest. You may view the Katana Revel mural at... okay. The quest destination will not be displayed on the map. You must search for a structure which resembles the buildings in the mural, then inspect... You are doing sneaky stuff, aren't you? Northwest is what she said, right? Not like we have a lot of visibility here. Huh. Huh. Northwest of the Ondel Traps. I mean, there has to be some... There's no buildings or remnants of buildings here in these rock formations, right? We get up there. Get a closer look on things. Oh. This looks very much like man-built structures, right? I think, but... Ah, and there's the survey point. It's kind of nice that they marked it with a... That's highly appreciated. That's highly appreciated. I was thinking we were going to be searching for that survey point for a very long time. Aye, this is the mural writ large. Though I cannot guess at its purpose, it must have been an imposing sight. How much of the tower's height lies hidden beneath the ground, I wonder. Centuries of our history have settled upon such ruins. Countless layers of dust and sediment. An entire civilization in its existence forgotten by all except a handful of Ascians. And yet it did exist. They lived here in this city. But let us focus on what we've learned thus far. The Ondo chieftain spoke of mystery stirring of a land illuminated. Judging by his words, he believes this phenomenon related to the ancients' return. Thus, we can surmise that what the Ondo saw shining in the abyss was, in all likelihood, yet another remnant of this age-old civilization. And who else would light the lanterns, as Reen put it, than Emmett himself? It's almost certain he is there. Oh no. Where are we going then? Ishtola. But if we are to find this stronghold in a timely manner, it seems gaining the Ondo's trust remains our swiftest path forward. I only hope our deeds are enough to win them over. The light of inspiration. Ishtola seems eager to share your discoveries with the others. Thank you for assisting me with my investigations. I shall seek out our companions and share what we have learned. Much as I would like to tell you to sit down and leave the rest to us, your condition demands that we make all reasonable haste. If you are not too wary, it may be useful to speak with Pausch Orn again and ask if there's aught else he's willing to divulge. And also, I need to talk to the pregnant lady. I also need to talk to the pregnant lady. Where is she? Hello, hello? I have come to speak to the Clutch Mother. Beyond this gate resides the Clutch Mother. Approach and hearken to her words. Is there but one Clutch Mother? Oh! We're not gonna see her. We're just gonna talk to her? Honored guest, I, Clutch Mother of the Ondo, do bid you welcome to our realm. You will forgive me for receiving you in this fashion. For the safety and well-being of my children unborn, I must remain within, away from the dangers without. As you know, under normal circumstances, this place will be filled with blessed water, from which I would draw strength and support to bring these eggs into the world. Alas, I am but half submerged now, and I fear for my ability to fulfill my sacred duty. I am given to understand you and yours are the ones responsible for drawing back the waters of our realm. With good reason, I am sure. However, it is my sincere hope that you will agree to aid us, given that you are responsible for this state of affairs. Fear not. I desire no direct assistance. Rather, I would beg a boon of your people's knowledge of childbirth and how the finless ones ease the burdens of their struggling mothers. You need information on how to get a PDA. Is that what's going on here? Xerox will be my agent in this matter. Heed his words and answer his questions. I mean, I could get her a couple of bottles of wine, right? Do you consent? I'm not sure that would be a good idea. I thank you, honored guest. Go well. Then it is agreed. However, I must consult with her attendants before we speak further. For now, I bid you and Naros go about your business, but be ready if called upon. Okay. Wait. Have you a moment to converse in private, outside the cups? Again, outside the cups. You just want me to walk around aimlessly. Can't we just... Man, just... Can't we just have a chat just around the corner somewhere? Man. You buddies are driving me insane. Outside the cups. Asset. It's a rare thing indeed to be granted an audience with the Clutch Mother. I hope this serves to help you understand how important these eggs are to us. Before you came to the cups, I had been searching for a means to assist her in giving birth. That is why I have been studying the relics of your people. Unfortunately, I found nothing that seemed suitable for this purpose. I cannot stress to you enough how important she is to us. She is mother to all Ondo, to every egg, brother and sister. We would do anything and everything to welcome them into this world and see them grow into healthy, happy Ondo. There must be some way in which you can help us to achieve this end. We can totally do this. Mother's moon. Okay. We can do this later. We can do this later, buddy. By the way, I really need to do this. I really need to do this otter quest to get the backpack and the otter companion that is available as part of the Make It Rain campaign. I haven't done that yet. But I think it's just a sub-quest line with a couple bits of talking, I assume, right? I don't know. Ah, Alphino's friend. You and your companions have done much to repair the damage caused when the waters parted. We're trying our best, buddy. Anything else you can do? Have you been to the Walls of the Forgotten? I think I've just come from them. Are they the ruins to the northwest? Yes, that is the sacred site of which I speak. Could it be that your footsteps were guided there by the ancients? I believe it may be so. Listen then, and I will tell you of our plan to bring lights to the walls, and we might answer the shining call of the illuminated land. We have requested a finless craftsman to shape for us a sacred lamp. He's odd for a land dweller, choosing as he does to live in the ocean, but his skill is beyond question. It is concerning, however, that we have heard nothing of his progress. If you were to visit this artist and return with our long-awaited light, then any doubt as to your purpose would be laid to rest. His name is Grenold. You will find his workshop in a metal structure in the south. No shit. Grenold. Where have we heard this name before? That's a coincidence, right? Oh, there's striking dummies down here. That's always good to know. Is there another? No, the ether comp. Wow, you really built a... Do you have an elevator? Please tell me you have an elevator. Oh, wow. Seriously? Oh man, this is cozy. Sorry for stepping in here with my chocobo and all that. Man, this is unbelievably cozy. This facility was built by a Crystarium native, a genius artisan seeking to escape from the distractions of the outside world. Although he simply calls the place his workbench, the mundane naming is at odds with the fantastical concept of a forge constructed miles beneath the ocean. Give me a second here, folks. Oh, that's just great, that is. My mind's playing tricks on me now. Look, Reynolds, someone's come to visit you at the bottom of the bleeding ocean. Or might you be a ghost, eh? Go on, foul shade. Feast yourself on me rotten soul. I've got no use for it. A craftsman what can't craft is more pointless than a sea slug with a dome and hammer. And that's an insult to bloody sea slugs. Reynolds appears to be suffering from a crushing bout of self-doubt. Maybe you can psych him up. Give me a second here. What was... I am so bad at names. Give me a second. What was... I'm so confused right now. Give me a sec. Just give me a sec here. I just really need to Geralt, right? So just to check in with that my mind isn't playing tricks on me here, right? The NPC who is basically the smith who provides the weapon quests, right? The relic weapon quest is called Geralt, right? So I assume that this is Geralt's counterpart in the first, right? He has to be. He's just Geralt with better hair, I guess? You wouldn't be trying to raise me spirits now, would you, spirit? Now, what do you expect from a servant of the Netherworld? Has it really come to this? Have we met before? He's a hot version of Geralt. Like, okay, I mean, he's a version of Geralt with beard and long hair. Might be as we crossed paths back in the Crystarium, but I don't reckon we've been formally introduced. Name is Grenold. And this here's meant to be me underwater sanctuary. A place where I can give myself over to the work. Far from the distractions of the outside world. And yet, here you stand. Now what's so damned important that you dive all the way down to the bottom of the bleeding tempest to bother me? I hate these accents, man. I hate these accents. Ah, the Ondo's lamp. Gods curse me empty-eyed. I've not so much as made a start. Oh man. I know how that feels. Did you forget your medication, mate? I'm worth less than a sea slug. Aye, the slime left by a sea slug. Me delivery date's long past. Me workbench is untouched. And I call myself a bleeding artisan. You've heard the beliefs, have you? Bringing light to them ruins will be an act of deep religious and cultural significance. And it was my privilege as a craftsman to be tasked with providing a ritual instrument worthy of the occasion. But I just can't bloody well... My mind's a bleeding blank. It's like I've pissed away my last drop of inspiration. Tell me you've got somewhat to show me. Somewhat as'll give me muse a right good kick up the arse. Sheesh, buddy. Okay. The Ondo want to honor the coming of the ancients, so their answering lights got to blaze with the right kind of brightness. Like the spark of life caught in the crystal. But just being sparkly not enough. It's not enough. It's got to dance with joy and sorrow and sense of hardship endured. You know what I mean? No, I don't, buddy. Reynolds seeks a particular kind of inspiration, the kind that crystallizes only at the culmination of a long and tragic tale. Complete any of the role quest lines available at the Wandering Stairs in the Crystarium, then return to Granold once more. Ah! Got it! Alright. Bad news, folks. Well, bad news, I don't know. This is nice. I like this a lot. So we're able to actually complete 2 of the job quest lines. I've almost completed the Paladin one, which I can now wrap up because I've reached level 80. And I've started the healer one as well, but I've only done the first quest basically. So this is something that I'll have to double back on and wrap up so we can continue the MSQ, which is nice. I like the idea. This is actually quite cool. So it kind of, which is interesting, it kind of forces you to have... What confuses me here is I think you need to be level 80 to finish those job quests, right? But this quest here is still level 79, but I might be wrong. I'll check this out. In any case, I think we'll call it a day here and continue from here next week because it's already 1:30. I also just received a message from my significant other that they'll be coming back home in the next 25 minutes. So I think we're going to wrap this up. Honestly, I'm quite happy. That was a lot of fun. I didn't expect to find another locale. Honestly, I didn't even check whether there was a 6th locale that we haven't discovered yet. So I didn't expect this to actually take as long as it did. I thought this was going to be basically us wrapping up the MSQ in the next 3 hours or something. But yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I really enjoyed it. Funnily enough, it wasn't a problem with the fingers. We didn't even get to do anything that required left index finger. So that's kind of cool. That was nice. Thanks for keeping me company, Color Tinker. I really, really appreciate that. If you want to subscribe to the channel, please do so. Leave a like, do all the YouTube things. And we'll continue the stream next week, Sunday, from right here, 11 a.m. And yeah, if you won't be able to join, there's always a VOD online afterwards. I usually try to timestamp the VODs on Mondays, just for better navigation, but sometimes I forget because my brain is built like that. But yeah, I usually try to timestamp those. And I will probably be continuing the job quest in the meantime off stream. And then we can pick up with Grenold and his Light of Inspiration next Sunday right here and see where this MSQ takes us. Probably underground to discover an ancient Asian stronghold that lives right underneath exists right underneath the cups, I would assume. But yeah, let's not spoil ourselves. Let's find out next week. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Have a beautiful Sunday. Leave a like. Do the subscribe. Enjoy the weather. And have a good week ahead. Take care. Stay safe. And thank you so much for keeping me company. Bye-bye.